Happy Christmas, motherfuckers! In this video, I'll be covering the old Peep Show demo, the current Peep Show demo, and the future Peep Show demo. This is the current version that's available to download. I released it quite a few months back now, but I thought why not just talk through the behind the scenes of making it. And there will be a new version coming, touch wood. I'm pretty sure that's wood. So I started working on this almost 2 years ago, I think. And here is some very early footage. It's not looking too great. I just have the really basic details at this point. But everything is there for the most part. You can definitely see the beginnings of a larger project. I posted this video online and people seem to really like it. It's actually interesting looking at this older version. Because I've been working with the new version so much, you can just see how much everything has changed. So that doesn't actually look too bad, it's just a 2D image. Yeah, so I would just work on this every now and then over the past 2 years. And there's the 2D image again. You can see a bus in that one, so that doesn't quite work. So like I said, this is the current version that's available to download. And I actually haven't done anything to this in quite a while. After releasing it to download, I just thought that's as much as I can do to it. Felt like a natural place to just stop. I did toy with the idea of trying to make it photorealistic, but to be honest, I'm really not at that level. So I just worked on a few other projects in that time, which you're welcome to check out. But then I ended up coming back to it. Even though the flat is arguably finished, I've just been putting in really tiny, petty details that people won't even ever notice probably. Yeah, I've actually gone a bit mental with the details. I've done an Angus, and this game is my book of the Byzantine Church for the general reader. I'm gonna phone 5 Live and tell them I've seen the end of civilization in a bargain bucket. Anyway, here's an example. I remember not being happy with the carpet in the final game for the last one. It was one of the things that just stuck out because it was just everywhere. So here's the difference. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way the carpet looks now. It actually looks like carpet. These changes will be in the newest version, by the way. It's not out yet. I also changed the skirting board to make it look more like wood. So these are just a few of those obsessive little details I was telling you about. This leaflet was literally just a screenshot from an episode. So I just quickly remade it in Photoshop. Now this is the biggest change of all. So aside from the carpet, the thing I was most unhappy about was the exterior. These 2D buildings here just look shit. When I showed this demo to my friend, he commented that the outside doesn't really need to be that detailed. He said that this kind of did the job, which I guess it technically does. And I was left debating what I could do to really improve this part of the level. As you can see, the flat image only works from certain perspectives. Another option would have been to model the whole street, but that option just seemed a little bit mad, so that's exactly what I did. There is a moment in the first series where Mark looks out of the window for literally 2 seconds.
Do you think he really wondered, Sting?
So from that I deduced where their flat was located in their building and what streets it would have overlooked.
Hello, NHS Direct. Hi, listen, I want to get my friend sectioned.
Then I had a look around the road and just built the basic shape of it. And here's your first look at the new demo coming soon. There is one Easter egg in this section of the hallway. And I guess technically everything is an Easter egg in this game. But there's something not immediately recognisable that you have to look a bit further for. Oh, and I forgot to say I changed the lights to actual realistic looking lampshades. They used to be these horrible stretched out things, but I've managed to construct some halfway decent ones. So Mark's room, not too many changes. I've given him some new bedside tables, because the ones that I modelled for him just don't look very good. Oh, by the way, there's an Easter egg in here too. Not immediately visible. Hidden away somewhere. Maybe if you think you found them, you can leave a comment telling me what you think it is. And if you get it right, you can win. Well, you won't win anything. And it's not that. So onto the bathroom now. The curtain has been improved. It used to flicker and flash for some reason, but I've managed to fix it. The physics still aren't perfect in the way it moves, but I think it's good enough. It does the job. A few new things in here. Again, there's another Easter egg hidden away somewhere. That's a clue. I've added grime to the bathroom and dirt, just because the show always had that lived-in look and things were looking way too clean. On some of the close-up shots it does look pretty messy, but that is what's so great about the show. That's what normal flats look like. What mine looks like anyway. And on the other side, some more grime. You never saw this on MTV Cribs. We have this shelf here, which I've added some texture to, and some old rusty screws. We get a pretty good look at this in the William Morris years. I probably need to put some clutter on top of it too. Onto the kitchen. The tea finally looks like tea. The steam effect still looks a little bit dodgy, to be honest. I might have to fix that. And I've added a couple of new things to the kitchen, just items here and there. I tried my hand at modelling my own stuff because lots of this other stuff I've just downloaded. So I modelled this box of cornflakes and I tried to have the design wrap around the box, and it was just painstaking to do. We have real potatoes now for our Christmas dinner, not some weird rock looking things. And the loaves of bread are actually loaf shaped, as opposed to perfect cubes. And this is going to sound so pathetic. I decreased the size of the spider. That's the Easter egg for the kitchen, by the way, that spider. Actually, on the subject of that spider, I was originally going to have it programmed to walk around up and down the walls, making its own web. But that was a bit too complex and mental, so I didn't do it in the end. I've also added dirt and grime to the kitchen tiles and the cabinets too. And something I noticed while watching Peep Show is that these cabinets are pretty duff to shit. They have these scuffs and marks all over them, so I thought that would be nice to try and include to make it look less perfect. Jeremy's room, not much has changed. A couple of new bits here and there. The living room is pretty much the same. I did add some extra items in the wall that I saw from an episode. In one of them they did have one of those singing fishes. And I increased the size of the bull a bit because in the same episode I realised that it's pretty massive. Okay, so this interesting story about this. Well, not really, but this DVD cover is a straight screenshot from the episode. And it's in the first series, so the quality of those aren't that good. So I paused it at just the right moment when Jeremy's holding it up, and I've photoshopped his thumb out. The thing is, I always try to get legitimate textures for what I'm using. For example, that is an actual texture of that CD. The John Ruskin one doesn't actually exist from what my research tells me, so that's just a pretty bad screenshot of it. I did try, cautiously, to see if Backdoor Barbecue was a real DVD. I didn't go too deep, too thorough into it. And from what I can tell from my limited research, a high quality version of this cover doesn't seem to exist. I tried, I looked. That's where this conversation ends. The red wine stain looks particularly good on this carpet, I think. And to top it all off, we're going to look outside. These are the streets as far as I've made them. The raindrops on the window were a late touch, but I like it. I think it shields how basic the street is. There's a lot more I could do here and put in. It's probably going to be different in the final version. On the issue of detail, I've been trying to put the character camera in any possible position without seeing any gaps in the illusion. As far as the player can tell, it just goes on forever. I think there's something dodgy going on that corner that I can fix. Originally I did have an idea to have little people walking around outside too, but that just seemed like going a step too far really. Also, there's been kind of a theme where you don't really see any real people. So in my head I've sort of built up this idea that this isn't necessarily in the real world. It's almost like a rapture has happened, and this is some kind of metaphysical plane of existence. A place where the aura of all of the characters are preserved for all of eternity. In this magical place stuck between two realms of reality. But it's also in Croydon.